Hi everyone, this is part 2 of the Medway Island Adventure series where we're exploring an island rich in history, especially military and naval history, dating right back to Victorian times. If you haven't seen part 1, I recommend you hop on over to my channel to watch that first. So thanks for accompanying me. Let's go and see what we're going to discover today. So there's 2 Victorian forts here, and there's one just over there which is Fort Darnet. There it is. And the other one is just there, and that's Who Fort, and they're both Victorian forts situated in the Medway.
Comes Lara Croft.
I don't think so. We're just going to explore along this bit of the foreshore here. See what's washed up. Lots of bits of pottery and bottles and metal. And there's also a lot of plastic as usual. So there's an array of every kind of material. And I've just seen a pipe bowl just there, and I can see that it's another Royal Antediluvian Order of Buffaloes pipe bowl. So let's have a closer look. Here it is. There it is with those bull horns.
Oh, it's a nice button, Nick.
So there it is, R-A-O-B. Oh, and David's found a button. Let's go and see his button. What have you got? What kind of button? I've got a R-A-O-B pipe bowl. Let's see. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Oh, is that a...
It's either Royal Marines or Royal Navy. I haven't cleaned it off yet. I think it's Navy.
Gonna have a closer look at that later.
I'll give it a scrub in a minute with a toothbrush.
Great, well here's my pipe bowl.
Oh,
It's nice.
oh, REOB one as well,
Yeah.
delightful.
Oh, and I've just spotted another pipe over here. Look, I think it's another RAOB one, a Royal Antediluvian Order. But there are obviously a lot of Order of Antediluvian of Buffaloes here. Royal Antediluvian Order of Buffalo people. Let's get that right. It's a bit of a tongue twister. That one's nice. Look at his little nose, his eyes. It's got a nice heel. Very nice example. So I've just found a small little round thing which I thought was a coin, but it looks more likely to be some kind of button. Now, it seems like a lot of things here were burnt, so they're all quite delicate. I'm going to clean it off properly later. It's got some writing on, so we'll be able to see what it is. But all I can see now is 1850. So here's this beautiful pipe stem, and it's the end of the stem, and on it here it's got Chatham by the looks of it, and on the other side would have been the pipe maker, I think. And it looks like
Something Hinkins. Chatham. Bottles that have been here for a very long time. These completely covered. Barnacles. Lots of them. So there's another nice little bit of pottery here. Again, it looks military. I've just seen this bit of pottery, and on closer examination it's also got a form of military insignia on it. Oh dear, I think he's seen better days. Okay, so I've just spotted something a little bit gruesome, but then I noticed something quite interesting about it. There is obviously a very unfortunate pigeon involved here, and it's just its leg, but it's got a tag on it, so it may have been, if it was a pigeon, yeah, so it must have been a racing pigeon. So I'm going to take the tag off and have a look and see if I can contact the owner and let them know. Well, I probably won't tell them how I found the pigeon, don't want to upset them, but I'll at least tell them that the pigeon is no more. So I'll take the tag off and go find out how to contact the person. Oh, I wonder what happened to him. I'm going to do a little roundup of the objects which featured in today's video, and I'll start with this button here which David found. Now it's pretty damaged, which is a shame, as a lot of things are on the island because everything was burnt, so it's very difficult to see, but I have been able to make out the letters on there, and it's actually from the Royal Engineers. And I think in the middle, I think that it's the George V Royal Engineers tunic button. And George V reigned from 1910 to 1936. So yes, that I believe is a George V Royal Engineers button.
And now moving on to this button here, which again is a little damaged, but I can make out the 1850, and on the bottom there it says Wolverhampton. Don't know if you can make it out there. Now, the writing at the top is slightly less easy to read, but when I googled, I found that it came from the Royal Orphanage, Wolverhampton, and I found a picture of a button in a lot better condition, which I'll post after this. So this is from the Royal Orphanage, Wolverhampton, which was founded in 1850. Originally, the Royal Orphanage Wolverhampton was opened in the town centre to care for children who had become orphaned during the Great Cholera Epidemic of 1849. And first of all, there were just 13 boys, but later there were a lot more children, and it became the Royal Orphanage in 1891 when Queen Victoria gave permission for the prefix royal to be used. Right from the outset, it was just for middle-class children. There weren't any poor children in the orphanage, which seems a great shame. Lees believed that these middle-class children had been hardest hit by the epidemic, so diseased and crippled children were not allowed in the orphanage, and neither were more than 2 from the same family. And all the children who were in the orphanage were to be raised on strictly Anglican principles. Now taking a quick look at these Royal Antediluvian Order of Buffalo pipes, which we found on the island. And they are so detailed. They've got the wonderful face of a buffalo, looking very dignified there. This great big little protruding nose. The same for this one here, this little chap. And I'm imagining it must be the same pipe maker who made them. This one doesn't have a protruding nose, but it just has that little design right down the middle. Actually, when I compare to a pipe which I found more local to me here in London, you'll see that there isn't the face at all, it's just the horn. Here is the pipe stem with Hinkins marked on it. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know you were thinking this. It looks kind of phallic, unless that's just me and my terrible mind. But yes, it does look a bit phallic. But anyway, moving on to more serious matters. This has Hinkins written on the side, and on the other side it has Chatham, if I can find it. Where does it say Chatham? Here it is, Chatham. Chatham is not very far from Who Island. When I started to research Hinkins and Chatham, I came across a picture of a beautiful RAOB pipe, very similar to these. So it could be that he made these pipes. I'm going to post a picture of the one which I found, which is in its entirety. And it is a Mr George Hinkins, I think. Let me see, I wrote it down somewhere. And now here is this pottery, which has the same insignia on it as this larger piece here, which almost looks like it could come from a chamber pot, a Royal Naval chamber pot. I don't know, it doesn't look like a casserole dish. It definitely looks a bit like a chamber pot to me. But the mark on it, or the mark on this and on this little piece of pottery, which probably comes from a cup, would seem to come from the government-issued British china, which is used in Royal Navy wardrooms, and on it is the seal of the office of the Lord High Admiral of Great Britain. Although I lost the ring, which was on the pigeon's leg, much to my annoyance, I was able to read it from the footage which I took. And then I found myself on the website of the Royal Pigeon Racing Association, which in turn directed me to a page entitled Lost Pigeons. And on that page was a whole list of little letters that you find on the rings, and you can then link them to a particular racing club. And so the letters on the ring I found, NRC, relates to the Northern Roller Club. And so there was only one thing left to do, and that was to call the Northern Roller Club to report the grisly find.
Hello?
Oh, hi. Is Mr Weir there, please?
Yeah, I'll just give him a shout. I'll be a minute.
Thank you very much.
John? 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 Oh, telephone. Hello?
Oh, hello. Is that Mr Weir?
Uh-huh.
Oh, hi there. Sorry to bother you on a Sunday. I'm just calling you because actually I found a pigeon ring yesterday, and my research led to you, the Northern Roller Club.
Uh-huh.
And so I just wanted to report the ring and let you know.
Was it attached to a bird's leg or?
Just, I only found the leg. One leg.
If you just hang on, I get a pen. I can let the owner know. Back in the tick.
Thank you.
Okay, what was the ring number?
Okay, so the ring number is A01
A01
188,
188.
and it also has a little 16 on it.
6,
Yeah, NRC, and I can't see the rest because believe it or not, I picked up the pigeon ring and put it in my pocket, and then I couldn't find it. But luckily, I had a photograph, so I could read most of it. So,
Right, yeah, that sounds about right. Where else in the country are you?
so I found it in on an island in the Medway in Kent.
Kent, all right. I've got a guy who lives in who?
Oh, well, that's where it was. So he's from who? Oh, so that didn't go very far at all, did it?
The hawk will have had it. The hawk will have killed it. The peril didn't have a sparrowhawk.
Oh, okay. All right then. Oh, that's very interesting.
There'll be a guy called Terry Broad. He lives on the Stoke Road.
Sorry, what's his name?
Terry Broad. He lives on the Stoke Road.
Kerry Broad.
Aye.
Oh, okay. Stoke Road. All right then.
Yeah. I'll give him a ring and tell him anyway.
That's very kind of you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Bye. Oh, well, that's very interesting. So that pigeon didn't really get very far at all. So he comes from who and was found at who. And so there we are. That's the story of the who pigeon. Poor pigeon. Okay. Well, anyway, that was an interesting experiment to see what happens and how to report a pigeon ring and see how that all works. It's a very effective way of keeping track of your pigeons, by all accounts. After our conversation, I spoke to Mr Weir again because I wanted to get his permission to use our conversation on YouTube, and he explained to me a little more about roller pigeons, and I was amazed to find out that these pigeons actually do somersaults. And he directed me to a YouTube video where you can watch these roller pigeons or rolling pigeons do somersaults, and it's quite extraordinary. So I would highly recommend you go and take a look, because I don't know about you, but I've never seen a pigeon doing somersaults before. And this poor pigeon was probably somersaulting to his heart's delight above Who Island before a sparrowhawk came down and got him, which is extremely tragic. But today I've learned about the Royal Orphanage of Wolverhampton, about the Royal Engineers. I've seen some beautiful RAOB pipes, but I have learned that something as marvellous as pigeons that do somersaults exists on our wonderful planet, and I'm very grateful for learning that. So thank you very much for coming along. Part 3 will be coming soon, so do watch that. And thank you so much to everybody for helping me to identify the various bits of pottery that I had in the last video and some of the other finds. I'm very, very grateful. And if there is anything that you see that you know something about, then please do get in touch and let me know. I'm always really thrilled to learn more about the things that I find. Okay, thank you. Have a great day.